the Acolyte. This is the season/series, obviously finale, because this thing is bombing badly. Wonder why? Maybe because it's garbage. I normally review shows and movies using my SPACE system, which you've seen me on other videos. So story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. And then each category of that would get a 0 or 2. 2 is the best, 0 is awful. So if I thought the story was awful, I'd give it a 0. If I thought the story was amazing, I'd give it a 2. Or if I thought it was okay, I'd give it a 1, right? And then you get a score out of 10. There's not really any point in doing it this way for this particular show because it's just god awful. I'm giving it a 0 out of 10. There's some of the shots look good, so I don't want to just say it's 0 and whatever, but the thing is the rest of it is so bad that I can't even appreciate some of the aesthetics of it. The storyline is absolutely nonsense. I would actually have to do a commentary, and I'm not doing any more Acolyte videos after this, and I'm not watching season 2 if there is one, which there won't be. I'm pretty much like done with almost anything Disney Star Wars. I never finished Ahsoka. I didn't finish Andor. I didn't finish Mandalorian. I didn't even start Mandalorian season 3. I watched like maybe 5 episodes of Bad Batch. Like, I don't know what's going on here. There is nothing exciting. Star Wars used to be based on pulp serial adventures. George Lucas mixed up stuff. He took basic fantasy concepts of good and evil, mixed Japanese culture in it, mixed a little bit of Western, the Western movies, right? Mixed a little bit of philosophy in there, right? Took a lot of Flash Gordon, a lot of Buck Rogers elements too, taking all of these little things and making this big soup. It's like a Tarantino film. You watch Jackie Brown and you're like, yep, I see where that's coming from. That's a blaxploitation thing. That, it's like you can see the influences of Star Wars, and it was sort of this perfect blend of all this. But at the heart of what it is those movie serials. Think Flash Gordon. That's the heart of it. Whereas adventure, excitement, action, heroes that you can believe in, heroes that you can cheer for, villains that you can boo. But even when you're booing the villains, you're secretly thinking, they look pretty cool. Everyone thinks Ming the Merciless is pretty cool. He's a pretty cool villain. All of the villains of Flash Gordon are pretty neat, right? A lot of supporting characters. Flash Gordon, yeah, we cheer for Flash Gordon. We cheer for Luke Skywalker. We cheer for Han Solo. Come on, Lando, you got it. The droids, they're along for the ride. They're our guide to this world, especially in the first movie. We're learning through them. All of those concepts have been utterly destroyed by Disney, and they have been dead and buried in this particular show. I'm not a lore keeper. I'm not the lore master of Star Wars. I don't really care. I don't know if you can hold a lightsaber and through your evilness turn it red. Is that how that works? I have no idea. You can let me know in the comments if you want to. I literally don't know. To me, it's like, well, Darth Vader's a bad guy and he liked red. That's it. I didn't think that, red is the evil color. Like watching this as a kid, I was like, okay, red, I guess, yeah, red, yeah, that's evil. Sure, the bad guys have evil, the good guys blue. I don't know how much thought was put into that. And then it just became, they always use red. And like, why can't a good guy use red? Like, I don't understand. Maybe that was explained in some novel or comic that I have no clue about, but I don't care. This television show is an absolute disgrace to television. This has nothing to do with the portrayal of characters or, they got this wrong and they got that wrong and this doesn't make sense. And this is, George Lucas said this and they said this, and you can only have Force babies if you're Anakin or whatever. Only Anakin be the Force baby. I don't know. But what I do know is that you cannot follow the logic of this storyline. Every 5 minutes, this thing reverts itself to something else. It's like you've got your two characters, Osha and May, two twins, but they're not twins, they're one person, whatever. It's like, okay, all I know is that there's these two characters that they're flipping back and forth between good guys or bad guys. Am I supposed to cheer for them? Am I not? I don't like that they're trying to introduce this gray to the characters. But if you are going to introduce a level of ambiguity, is he good? Is she a bad guy? Is she a good guy? I don't know. If you're going to do that, then you have to have skill in writing. You can't just say, well, in this scene she's good and in this scene she's bad. It's like, that's not how it works. It certainly does not how it works in storytelling and to engage an audience, because every minute I don't know what this character is going to do or say. Like, I'm pretty confident that Luke is going to do the right thing in a situation. Han Solo did shoot first, and so you're like, oh, he shot this guy's he's a bit of a scoundrel, right? And it's like, okay, he's a wild card. What's he gonna do in the scene? He might shoot the guy, right? He's the wild card. Luke is the guy who you're following. Now, is Han, does he have levels? Yeah, I guess he does. Every character sort of does, but fundamentally, Greedo was bad and he was gonna kill him, right? And Han Solo had to shoot first. That's how you rationalized it and be like, yeah, listen, what are you going to do, buddy? You got to do it. The fact that he was able to do it shows that he's a bit of a rogue, right? That's how you do it and still keep it good versus evil, because Darth Vader kills anybody for immediate insubordination or one screw up. Imagine you come in late to work and then you're just dead, right? So that's how Darth Vader is. That's how Palpatine is. That's how Grand Moff Tarkin is. They lie. They blow shit up. Give me the coordinates. Here they are. Okay, I'm still blowing it up. What? You're I don't care. I said I'm going to do it. So that's not happening here. It seems like every scene, the writers are deciding to change it on you, and you can't follow it. I swear to God, you're just like, okay, so wait, she's the bad guy now? She hates this guy now? What happened? It's like, oh, you killed the mother. They tried to portray the Jedi in that situation as bad guys, and it doesn't visually work. They're evil witches casting spells, like creating life forms that use the dark side, right? Ultimately, those two twins are using the dark side, right? So, and then when Saul, who is the only character that had any sort of interest for me at all, when he showed up and the little girls are, he's like, oh, I'm taking the girl. She wants to come with us. I'm coming to take the kids. So you'll never have the children, and we over my dead body. And so you'll never have her. And then she turns into this mist or whatever. And he's like, holy shit, what's going on? And then he sees that the girl's turning into mist. He's like, is she killing her? Like, what's happening here? So he stabs the mist and she dies. And so you killed my mom. Yeah, but she was killing you or something. He doesn't know what's going on. You're casting evil spells. And then as she's dying, she's like, I was going to let her go with you because she wanted to. Well, if that was the case, when Saul showed up, why didn't you just say, okay, take her? This is not in this episode. This is the last episode. But they're trying to tie all this up together to make it seem like Saul did all these bad things. And at the end, they throw the character under the bus to say, well, it was all his plan or whatever, right? To save face of the Jedi. So again, the Jedi lie, cheat, steal. And you might say, well, that's how all these organizations are. Yeah, but that's not what the Jedi are supposed to be in Star Wars. I'm not the lore master. Surely there may have been rogue Jedi. I guess, well, Dooku, right? He right? Anakin started out good, then he became a bad guy. So that happens to Jedi. They can become bad guys. But as an organization, you can't say, oh, this entire thing is tainted. And it's like, and within your own story, I don't even see how Saul and those guys were wrong, like at all. The witches were like evil. The problem is that when you're a person who knows the difference between good and evil in Star Wars, that's what you bring when you come to watch it. In order to change that, okay, they're all wearing black, they're casting spells, they're secluded in themselves. Okay, so there's some sort of weird witch cult. You automatically assume that's bad because you know how Star Wars operates. It doesn't work that way in Star Trek. When whatever crew you like, when Picard meets a new alien race, you don't know if they're going to be good guys or bad guys. In fact, within the race itself, there's good guys and bad guys because it's science fiction. This is fantasy, and fantasy doesn't work that way. There's not a goblin who's like, maybe we shouldn't eat the hobbits. I like hobbits. Well, why don't we not eat them? There's not one of those trolls. They weren't like, well, I like the hobbits. They're cute. I'm full. We don't need to eat them. And you're like, no, they eat animals and creatures. They're going to eat the dwarves. That's it. The goblins hate everybody. Like, that's how fantasy works. Obviously, you can have characters that have depth to them, like Aragorn, right? So yeah, for sure. Strider, whatever, right? Yeah, but I mean, that's your main guys. It can't just be like, oh, all these witches, are what, ambiguous or good guys? Like, how are they good guys? Like, what are they doing that's good? They don't even know how to portray them as good. What I would have done is they help kids in trouble. So maybe they go around and save people and bring them back, and that's how the Coven got started. Like, they go around and rescue people who have been abused or something, right? And it's like, but they didn't show any of that. And then if they're doing that, then the Jedi show up, say, hey, you guys have this covenant. It's like, no, 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 that's not what it is, Jedi. We're trying to help people. No, we don't believe you, right? They don't even know how to write it that way. It's brutal. I've already talked for 10 minutes. That's enough. This thing sucks ass. If you like this, great. But this is way worse than Falcon and Winter Soldier, and that was a trash heap dumpster fire. This is worse than She-Hulk. At least in Falcon Winter Soldier, I kind of knew what was going on. And they remained, like the characters remained who they were. They didn't flip, right? This one, Ocean may flip every 5 minutes. I right now at the end, I don't even remember. I think May is now a good guy because she's forgotten. Yeah, May is a good guy and Osha's a bad guy now because Saul killed her witch mother. By the way, he stabbed a cloud. Can't she survive that? Didn't Reva survive a full lightsaber to the stomach? Surely someone made of mist could survive one. Right? There's your verisimilitude, buddies. This thing sucks. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.